Good evening. It is Tuesday, January 24th, and I'm going to be doing a quick drive. I should say quick, it's going to be about a 20-minute drive from my house here in Northeast Minneapolis to my parents' house in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, so northern suburbs of the Twin Cities. This will be a drive with 10.69.25.2. I've done a bunch of drives over the last couple days with it. Can pretty much say with 100% certainty that this is a much better build for me up here in Minnesota than .1. I had a lot of pretty bad drives with .1, to be honest with you. So it's been doing, .2's been doing really good in the snow. As you can see, the road's pretty much fully covered. Doing a good job confidently picking a path and sticking to it, no zigzagging. So overall, I've been pretty happy with this build. There's been a couple of regressions that I've noticed in a few spots, some minor ones that are nonetheless an annoyance that we'll get to here in a little bit. So we're turning left right now on 37th Avenue. We're kind of on the tail end of rush hour, so usually there's actually a fair bit of traffic here, not to mention some pretty poor visibility because of all the snow. And FSD is doing a great job there of, just up the speed here, of going when it's safe to do so and inching out properly. I mean, again, visibility is pretty poor, and I mean, over the last couple builds, I'll say that specific unprotected left-hand turn has been a definite strength of FSD Beta. It's done a great job there. Not once has it put me in harm's way or felt like cutting out traffic where it shouldn't have been or waiting too long. It goes when it's supposed to. And wow, look at this. We're gonna actually get this issue to not show up. Oh, there it is, right there, right on cue. I'm gonna hit the throttle here and see if I can get it to go. And it did do the right thing there. That's the first time with this build where it's actually done the right thing. I'm surprised, but even so, you know, we saw the turn signal like it shouldn't have done. Just to show you the navigation, we're going straight on this road, so there's no reason for it to try to signal and all of a sudden go to the left there. So that intersection, that's the intersection of 37th Avenue Northeast and Central Avenue Northeast. It continues to be a huge problem for these .25 builds. That area was no problem for 69.3 and .2 and .1. So something changed, potentially in the deep lane guidance module. I don't know where in the stack, but I would be very interested to know what specifically changed that caused a regression there. But it did the right thing this time, but yeah, it still, you know, didn't inspire a lot of confidence where it kind of moved the wheel, signaled when it shouldn't have, acted as if it's going to make a turn there. So continue to report that one. Hopefully we'll see some improvements here again in version 11. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze here. Let's see what it does. And we are going to thread the needle. That was awesome. We had maybe an inch or two on the right. I was like ready to take over, but the line looked good from the get-go, and it was pretty confident. It slowed down a little bit, but that was pretty awesome there. So I've seen more times than not with this build where it's gonna just pull over to the right and wait for the oncoming traffic to go past. I was expecting that time, and it didn't do that. So, but either way, the behavior I thought was good. It had room. It used it and moved on there. A little bit of stop and go there. That was not optimal. Not sure if it thought that pedestrian there. That intersection again continues to be kind of a problem area. Had some good passes for the intersection with this build, but I've also had some, you know, ones like that where just going on the throttle and jamming on the brake is not a good move. And then this is one of the regressions I'm talking about here. I'm gonna have to take over. It looks like it was gonna do the right thing there, but we have somebody behind us, so I'm just going to nudge this out because we do have a window here and it's kind of busy. So, but yeah, back to that section back there. Again, it looked like it was going to do ultimately the right thing, but not before swerving and making some pretty interesting, you know, behavior that makes me question the confidence. And what's unique about that right turn that back there at, on a University Avenue, which is what we're on now, it's a bike lane that turns into a turn lane, essentially. So it's a shared vehicle lane, right? And, you know, that had been a problem in the earlier builds up until I think around like 10.10, and then all of a sudden it started nailing it. And it would properly get over right when the dotted lines show up, get over to the right and use a turn lane. And in 69.25 now, in .1 and .2, it goes back and forth like we saw, so usually resulting in a disengagement, especially if somebody's behind us. So that's probably like that regression and the one at Central Avenue are kind of the two big ones that I can think of that have been kind of an annoyance on my regular routes. There's a bit of a long line forming here. I wanted to see if it's going to make the lane change if I signal. That's awesome. We're pretty much equal now with the line on our left, but there's an entrance ramp up there where you turn onto on the 694 West. So you want to definitely be in this lane during rush hour. It's easier to just get through this section. I'm going to cancel the turn signal there, but that was pretty cool. Haven't really tried a lane change from a stop before, but it's definitely seems to be pretty solid, honestly. So I'm sure it was using the rear cameras as well to make that lane change. So good stuff there. A little close to the shoulder there, a little closer than my comfort. Kind of testing it there. So. All right, we just exited Highway 10 here in Coon Rapids, and we'll be making a left-hand turn onto Main Street here. One thing I will comment on with FSD, I don't know if it, you saw it back there, but we got a little close to the left lane. I wish with the map data showing a curve and we're making a left, we're merging into the left lane before that curve, the car should kind of align itself more to the inside line so that, as it turns, obviously it's not going to go super wide. It likes to kind of go a little bit wide, it seems like, on some of these turns. So some feedback there for the team. It's just, it could be a behavior change that would make being in the, driver's seat be a bit more confidence inspiring when the car is staying more to the right and not almost going into the shoulder. That'd be kind of nerve-wracking for a lot of people, I think. All right, this left turn is a little tricky. It goes uphill, but we're following a lead car here, so it's got some help. A little bit of wheel movement there as we were making the turn, but just the slightest amount. It really stuck to its original line, so not gonna knock FSD for that. That was pretty good. So sometimes what we've seen in previous builds at that left turn on a main street, because it's kind of uphill and there's an awkward curve at the very end of the turn, I'd say towards the apex of the turn, a late apex of the turn, you kind of have to go a little bit wide at the end. And for a few builds, it wanted to run the curb over. The last few have been pretty solid, but it looks like we're kind of continuing that. No regressions with that specific left turn. So there's a little bit of a snowbank towards the inside there, but did a great job, especially with that little last second correction there of avoiding that snowbank, and it wasn't even close. We were, several feet away from it pretty much at all times, so that was pretty good. A little abrupt braking there. I'm not sure why we saw that. If it's looks like it's having a tough time seeing that line. Now it's showing the crosswalk line, so I'm guessing it had a tough time seeing the stop line there. But so it'll be our last left turn of this route, and then we'll be making one last right turn, and then we'll be at our destination here. But I'm going to report that stop behavior there. A little bit of hesitation there, but good job. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze here with all this snow that we've gotten this winter on the right, but ultimately did a good job with that turn. So, and this is our last turn here. Smooth as butter. And that's kind of it for this drive. Again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.